Somewhere out there, right now, at this very moment, there is someone that can help you take your life to the next level. There's someone that can give you access to money, there's someone that can give you access to opportunities, and there's someone that can give you access to other people that are gonna help you get the break that you need and take your life to the next level. This is Paul Mascetta with The Influential Mind, and in this video, I'm gonna share with you a simple 3-step process on how to network with influential people. So step one, when you are about to network or attempt to network with an influential person, is you gotta do your homework on this person. In my simple 5-step process for influencing people called the Influence Blueprint, step one is to gather intelligence, which is just a fancy way of saying learning a little bit more about the person that you're attempting to influence. If you can do this, if you can gather some intelligence on this person, you can learn what you have in common with them, and you can identify those talking points. Because remember, people are persuaded and influenced by two kinds of people. People that they think they are like, or people that they want to be like. So if this person has a higher position of authority than you for some reason, let's just say in your sphere of influence, then at that moment, that person might not necessarily want to be like you. So it's important to make them feel that they are like you. And the only way that you can really do that is by gathering some intelligence about this person, doing some research on them, finding out what they like, what kind of sports they're into, what their political views are, where they live, if they have a family, if they have a dog, blah, blah, blah. We live in the age of information. You can practically get access to information on just about anybody, except maybe somebody working for the CIA or the FBI, in 15 to 20 minutes. So do a little bit of due diligence, research this person, find out some information about them so that you can highlight the similarities between yourself and that person, and most importantly, you can avoid any kind of differences because you don't want to set up any barriers or create any kind of resistance. Now, the second thing is, once you've identified this person, you know enough about them, now the question is, how do you actually get to that person? Well, one of the easiest ways to do that, especially if this person, again, has a higher authoritative status in your sphere of influence, is to utilize what I call the transfer of power. The transfer of power is basically when you utilize a contact that you have that already has some authoritative status or some credibility, and you utilize your relationship with that person to your advantage, right? And this kind of plays off the whole social proof thing, that when people are unsure of what to do or what to think in a certain situation, they usually look to see what the majority of other people have done in a similar situation. This is the exact reason why you see on the cover of a book, it'll say this book has sold over 1 million copies, because what that does is it sends a message to the potential customer that if 1 million people have bought this book, it must be a good book. So if you can find a way to position yourself with another authority figure or someone that has a lot of credibility in your sphere of influence, what you're going to enable yourself to do is transfer that person's power into your grasp. And that's going to make you appear more authoritative or more credible in the eyes of the person that you are trying to influence. Now, the last thing you want to do, which kind of plays into the second part, is you want to gain some third-party credibility. So you could be the most credible person in the world, you could be the most knowledgeable, you could have the most experience, the best expertise, but when you get in front of somebody, it always looks better if they hear that information from someone else before they actually sit down with you, as opposed to you just spewing it out of your mouth and patting yourself on the back and talking about all these different accolades that you have. So here's where this ties into number 2. Once you identify the power player whose power you're going to utilize to transfer to yourself to get it within your grasp, you also want to make sure that you leave a recent, very good first impression on this person. It could be maybe you buy them a gift. It could be maybe you do something good for them. It could be maybe you help them in some sort of way, but you got to provide some sort of value to that person, and it's got to be genuine value. It can't be one of these things where you wake up and you say, what can I do for this person to manipulate them into thinking that I'm a good person. You want to actually do something that's going to provide genuine value for that person, but you want to do it as close as possible to the meeting that that person may have, or the interaction that that person may have with the person that you're attempting to influence or persuade, because this ties into the primacy recency effect, which tells us that people remember things that happened to them initially or very recently. So again, if you could do a good gesture and provide some sort of value to the person that you're going to utilize for the transfer of power, that person is going to be inclined to tell the other person about that particular interaction with you because it was pretty recent, and that's going to automatically give you what we call third-party credibility, which is always better, and it's always more well received than you just sitting there patting yourself on the back telling this person about what a great person you are. So again, 3 steps. Number 1, research your subject or the person that you want to influence or persuade. Number 2, you want to utilize the transfer of power by linking yourself with another power player. And number 3, you want to provide some sort of value to that power player in the closest time range possible to when that person is going to meet the power player that you want to influence. Want to learn the secret to mastering the first step in persuasion? Click that link right there and download the credibility checklist absolutely free. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a comment, like it, and make sure you subscribe.